I don't know how I thought it was a good idea to drive almost 2 hours for this. It was a beautiful day today, and by the time I got about halfway, the weather just changed. Now, I mean, it's still a nice day, but the wind is killer. It almost closed the door on my tripod, knocking my camera over. Hopefully not a sign of more to come. I'm here at Waipapa Lighthouse, so here for sunset, hoping I can get a good shot. I'm still scouting around, seeing what the shots look like. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to keep looking around, making sure I don't get blown over, and hopefully I'll be able to make something here before something tips over. So I've somehow made it to the lighthouse, and it is windy. I've put my tripod down a few times and it's just tipped over. Yeah, you know, it's not always blue skies and calm weather. Definitely not a day for a drone. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see this behind me, but the waves are crashing in like crazy, and I wanted to take a few shots of them while I was looking around, and my lens is already covered in salt spray. My mouth is too. I can taste the sea. The wind is definitely blowing, and it's blowing the water everywhere. I really like this grass area over here, so I'm going to see if I can try incorporating it. There are some pathways that might be able to make use of a leading line there. Just looking around at the geographic nature here, I don't think I'll be able to incorporate any water into my shot. We're sitting too high up, and I don't see a higher vantage point, so I'm going to try focusing on the grass and the lighthouse, and the sky is constantly changing, so I'll definitely make sure I include that in my shot as well. Given the wind, might do a long exposure, but then I also I definitely can't hold my tripod steady, so we're going to have to be creative or find some compromises, and oh my god, it's windy! We've made it, I think. So I trudged through some of the grass here, and I did find a little bit of a highland, so I've chosen it, and I'm just going to go for a really simple shot here. A part of me would really like to do a little bit of a long exposure given how much the clouds are moving, but even just having it on the tripod here, it's moving, it is not holding steady, so I'm going to have to make do with the conditions that I have. I have a fast enough shutter speed. I don't really need the tripod, but the tripod's just holding the camera, keeping my composition consistent enough. I've also got my bag attached to the tripod. Without that, it would just blow away. I've used the belt strap, the waist strap, to attach to one of the legs, just to prevent the bag itself from blowing around and actually knocking the tripod. Now, even given this, it is still blowing, so you know, it is what it is. The sun's ducked behind a large pocket of clouds, so I might try and wait this one out a little bit, but yeah, I think I'll just go for a simple, minimalistic shot with the lighthouse dead center, surrounded by the grass, and there is in fact some water in the shot, so we'll see how it turns out. Sun to duck below the clouds. It looks like it might happen just about any second now, so hopefully I don't have to wait too much longer. Now, while I've been waiting, I've still been playing a little bit with the composition, dead center, include a little bit more of what I think might work best for me. Also, in between shots while I'm waiting, you can see I've got my camera angled away from the wind. I can already look on the lens and it's already coated in salt spray, so it's something you have to be very careful about. I'm trying to minimize as much as possible. And then I'm going to be a little bit more careful later on when I'm wiping it off, because there is salt on there. The last thing you want to do is use it as an abrasive material and just start scratching the coating on your lens. So something to keep in mind. And another thing I'm doing is I'm currently shooting at ISO 400. We'll see how I have to change it when the sun peaks out. Even though I'm on a tripod, it's windy. I'm using it to just counteract a lot of the wind, because it's really hard to keep everything steady. Plus, all this grass is moving around like crazy. There's nothing. I don't dislike the blur too much, but if my shutter's a little bit too slow, then it's just gonna look like mush, and that's not exactly what I'm looking for. So hopefully I don't have to wait too much longer. I'm going to try and get my shot with the lighthouse illuminated a little bit, and then I might just run around and see if I can get another perspective as well. Okay, so I'm just leaving now, and somewhat not surprisingly, it's still super windy, but I must have been on top of that hill for 20 minutes or longer in the exact same position, just waiting. But sometimes that's what you have to do, and for a moment I didn't think that the sun was going to come. The clouds were moving in, and I wasn't sure if I was going to have the shot that I had envisioned, but patience is key. It worked out in my favor, and I got a shot that I love. I think everything came together and it just worked so well. The clouds, the sun, the lighthouse stood still, so yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get a few more shots in this area before the sun's completely gone, but I can leave happy with what I just got. So it was well worth the 2-hour drive to get here, especially on all the gravel road. So I guess it wasn't quite over, because as I got back to my car and I was putting stuff away, I had one last look and the sky was just going crazy. I think the sun was just dipping below the horizon, and the clouds were in just the right spot, and the lighthouse was in just the right spot, and the sun was setting in just the right spot. And I was standing in just the right spot back at my car, and I was able to get a few more shots. I kind of rushed it a little bit, but some things you just can't control. And on the one hand, I kind of wish I was back out there again, but on the other hand, I got a brand new vantage point, and I got a little bit surprised with an opportunity, and sometimes those are great. Mother Nature is one of those things you can't control, but at the end of the day, patience is key.